Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be this fun pastel cotton candy inspired nail set. So I'm going in with a couple of gels from Elegance and as well as this cat eye from Vettsy. I don't end up actually using the cat eye effect too much. I used it a couple of bits here and there, but I'm so unused to using cat eyes that I just kind of forgot about it for most of it. So for the base and background, I kind of just want to blend all of the colors together, and I don't want it to be marbled. So I don't want it to look swirly. I don't want it to look like it's been twirled together like I do with marbles. It's supposed to look more like it was kind of like melted together. Using a blooming gel on this would have actually probably been a really good idea. So maybe if you're recreating something like this, a blooming gel would be great, because I kind of want the colors to look like they were sitting next to each other and then they just kind of melted. So very imperfect lines. I don't want any lines actually, more like very imperfect blobs just kind of spreading out into each other. And as I was going with this, I noticed that the pink gel that I'm using here, this one's from Elegance, in one layer, it wasn't really doing a lot. You can see as I'm spreading it out, the pigment is kind of losing its effectiveness, and it's just kind of like a bunch of sparkles left over. So I do 2 layers of this, and then I decide to actually do the second layer with just the purple cat eye and the blue glitter gel, because they were just a little bit more opaque and you can see the colors a little bit more. See over here I'm kind of playing around with the cat eyes, but I don't really do much of it, especially because I'm working in such thin layers. The cat eye effect doesn't really come through, so I'm just kind of working just with the sparkles here. So for the second layer, like I was saying, I just decided to do the layers in blue and purple, and then after I cure them, I'm going to go over all of them with the pink gel that has the larger chunks of glitter in it. That way the pinky hue and the tone comes through, but it doesn't get so lost. I felt like when I spread it out, it was getting a bit lost, so by creating a more pigmented base color, the glitters would really just shine more. So you can see here, just kind of using an ombre brush and really messily blending the colors together. I don't want it to look too perfect. I really just want to look like a mash, almost like melted ice cream or something like that. So I'm just kind of doing a little bit random. And then afterwards, as you can see here, I'm using the pink gel over top of it, and it just adds the tiniest hint of pink and a bunch of glitter. And I think that this was definitely a better way to go. Building up the pink would have required too much gel for it to be in the initial layer, so it ended up being a little bit different than I expected, but that's okay. We roll with the punches over here. Things don't always turn out exactly how we had in mind, but I actually love how this came out in the end, because I think the tone of pink on top of the purple and blue just really brings the whole look together. So now I am going to go on to do the clouds. So I matte top coated the glitters because I'm working with alcohol. So what I'm going to be doing is just using this small brush and creating kind of like fluffy cloud-ish like shapes. The best part about this is that clouds can look like quite literally anything, so you really don't have to be too perfect with it. And then I'm using a bit of alcohol to kind of shear out the gel. I don't want it to be too opaque and too thick. I really want them to look fluffy, a little bit ethereal, a little bit more abstract. So I'm just using a bit of alcohol to kind of blend the colors together. I'm creating sort of like a shape over here. I kind of just went and did a different technique or different shape with each of the clouds. I wasn't really putting too much effort into it because I did want them to just look very fluffy and abstract, and especially because once the whole design comes together, you can totally tell that they're clouds. I mean, like I said, clouds look like anything and everything, so you really can't do this wrong. If you wanted to do more obvious looking, almost like cartoonish clouds, like Toy Story clouds, you can definitely do that too. And I think more pronounced, more cartoonish clouds, I almost said clowns, clouds would look really, really cute as well. It just depends on the type of vibe that you're going for. I wanted to just do something a little bit more ethereal and a little bit softer, which is why I'm using the alcohol as well to just kind of smooth out the edges. And I am going to be doing a second layer of the white on top of the initial layer of clouds, but I felt like doing too much in one go really just built up the opaqueness of the white so much that it was just too stark for what I was going for. I really wanted, I keep saying, a softened effect. And I also wanted the glitters and the colors to be coming through from the background. I wanted it to look kind of like an evening sunset style situation, maybe like a winter sunset. I know that pastel's very often associated with spring, but I think that especially blue and purple pastel really, really brings to mind a very desaturated, cold, cool beginning of a sunset in the wintertime. I think that they're definitely pastel winters for sure. And especially as winter starts to fade into spring, those colors really do just kind of enhance and work really, really well together. So as you can see here, I'm doing a second layer of clouds. So the whiteness is going to be like thickened up a bit, and I am, still shearing it out a bit, but I felt that doing too much in one go, it just really lost the effect, especially because I want them to look fluffy. So you can see here, I'm really just like pouncing my brush. I'm not drawing it, I'm not dragging it, I'm really just like tapping it and creating these nice fluffy rounded effects. And doing that in one layer, you just really didn't get like the depth and the dimension and the fluffiness of it. So I think definitely working in a few different layers. I think 2 was perfectly fine for what I was going for. If you wanted to do it in a few different layers, maybe offset the clouds a little bit so they look a little 3D. There are so many different ways that you can create this look to just really be so impactful. And I think what's great about this design is because clouds are so not perfect, and there's no one way to make a cloud, especially if you're going for a softer, more fluffy design like this. There's no way to do it wrong. So it's just whichever kind of style you're going for, and it's such an easy set because there's no stress. It'll always look like a cloud once you're finished, So as you can see, I am going in with some crystals over here. I just wanted to add a little bit more bling, and I saw this beautiful pastel butterfly in my little charms and crystal drawer, and I was like, this is so pretty. I want to incorporate this. So I just wanted to do something simple. I didn't want it to be too abstract. I definitely wanted to keep this look a little bit more simple and like beautiful in its simplicity. Sometimes designs that are super elaborate can be beautiful, but sometimes it can be a little bit too much, and I really wanted to keep this design very soft. So I'm just going to add in over here some stars, and again, once you add the stars, it most definitely looks like clouds and a sky. So if you were like unsure about your clouds or they didn't come out exactly how you expected it, throw in some stars. I have been loving doing these 4-pointed stars ever since doing my birthday nails about a month ago. I had just kind of been throwing these on any set that I feel like something's missing. They are the best way to just add a little bit of design. Somehow they just work with practically any design you're going for, and especially if you're doing galaxy nails, sunset nails, anything like that, and you just want to make sure that the design looks like a sky if you're feeling like there's something missing. Definitely go for these stars. There's no way to do it wrong. So I'm just going to add in a couple of little dots over here and really just enhancing the design of it. I think these really just add so much. There's so much impact to the design, and it's so easy to do. That's one of the things that I've been loving recently, is just doing impactful designs that are also really easy because I don't want to be stressed about it, Sometimes if I do too much, I stress myself out, I ruin it, it's not as fun, and I always want it to be fun and enjoyable to do. So I'm just going to finish off this last one over here. And I did kind of have it in mind where I wanted to place the stars while I was placing down the clouds. So, I wanted to make sure that they were all a little bit different. I wanted it to look like there was something unique in each set, yet they still looked, cohesive, which I think once you see the set together, there's definitely no way that this couldn't be one full set. This can also be great as like an abstract nail, like an accent nail if you only want to do one. And I decided to go in with a matte top coat for this. I felt that the shiny top coat really smoothed out the design of the clouds and really just like the clouds lost all of their texture. So I felt like a matte top coat really just helped make it look fluffy and cute. I love how this set turned out. Let me know what you think down below.